Hello, welcome to part 3. We're starting in chapter 3, House of Blossoms. So right away, in the last part I got the wrench, and this is what it's for. You can save a lot of time just by swooping past those guards at the beginning and getting to this vent. And then you can just, it's pretty much a safe path to the entrance. So if you follow this video, you'll go up this wall right here, and you want to use the door here because it's the faster way. There's actually an alternative method is to go up and over, but that wastes time. So here I make coming up right now is a slight edit. I had to blur it a little bit for a second just because there's some brief nudity. So this part, to save time, you want to go around like I'm doing right now and loop back around to the area you entered in, just because there's a guard here and you just want to wait till he passes by and then you can safely pass. There's a bird that you just saw at the bottom of the stairs, and there's another bird at the top of the stairs, so to be safe you want to avoid swooping and just go up. Swooping won't save that much time anyways, just because at the top of the stairs you have to wait for this guard anyways. So once he goes away, you can safely pass by and into the room. So once you enter, you can swoop safely. You want to avoid sprinting. If you sprint in this room too close to the entrance, the bird can still be alerted and you have to start the chapter over again. So the one thing I liked about this chapter is that there's pretty much no loading screen. I think the only loading screen is at the beginning of the chapter and at the end. So it makes it easy for me for edit. So right now in the video we are out of the House of Blossoms and into the secret area underground. So for this part, the medallion you got at Aaron's hideout is being used here. I tried activating the medallion without looking into the rooms for the symbols, but I think the order is slightly randomized. So just to I couldn't figure out a way to do it without looking in the rooms. So that's why I'm using time to look through the symbols in the room. One was there, another one you just saw right there was on the wall. The last two symbols are in the other rooms you had to peek through. So if anyone knows a way to activate the podium without checking out the symbols, just leave in the comments below. If someone does eventually figure it out, it would be a significant time saver. So once you check out the symbols, they highlight on the medallion and you can easily just line them up. So for the next part, we enter the, the ancient ruins.
This has gone forgotten for a long time, but history lasts day to day in this.
I don't think there's any significant tips in this area. It's pretty straightforward. It's just going from point A to point B as straight of a line as you can. There's no enemies in the first part. The only thing you have to worry about is traps like right here. You have to push the button to deactivate it, and you have to push this button to deactivate another set of traps. And once you get into this area, pretty much you just want to get straight to the next point as fast as you can. One thing I do is right here is grab this cup, because I'll be using that later to get past a guard.
You said I'd find a book, Orion, not a whole library.
Yeah, so from here until you get the book, there's no danger other than accidentally falling off. But there's no guards or anything. That only the guards only appear once you get the book and are going back to leave the level.
This place is a maze. I'll head for the central tower.
So in this part, there's some stairs you have to rotate. I guess it's a small puzzle. I'm gonna do the way you're supposed to do it. There is a glitch that you can actually do to save time, but I'm not going to do it just because it'll eventually be patched out, and for I guess the sake of this video being relevant, I'm just going to do the traditional method. So what you're supposed to do is avoid rotating the second stairs, and rotate these last set of stairs, and then go back to rotate the second set of stairs, which you'll see right now. So what you just saw right now was one of those freaks in that small cutscene. I think this is the first introduction to them, and you'll be seeing plenty of them in upcoming chapters, especially chapter 5. So coming up is getting the book, and then we will be making our escape. So there's no trick for the symbols on the medallion here, because it's placed right in front of you. So all you have to do is just put it in and get the book. So coming up during the escape, there's actually parts which I could have done faster, and I'll point them out once we get to it. So now we go on the rope and climb up, and then jump back down. And once we go back to that bookshelf we entered into this area, the guards will be appearing. So there's two guards right on the other side of this wall. And right here is a method. You don't have to use my method. My method is the safest one, which is to follow this area on top to bypass the guards. But a faster method is just to actually just once you get on top of there, just go hop down and just run straight across. So coming up, there's a guard coming down the stairs, and this is where the cup I picked up earlier, this is where I'll be using it. The safer method is just to wait till the guard passes, but his patrol is pretty long and you have to wait a while. So I'm going to use a cup to distract him and then just swoop past him. I think the only downside of doing that is if you want to go 100% ghost, this will ruin it. Using the cup will the game will mark you being an opportunist. So, but at the end of the chapter, you'll see that I'm still majority ghost. For this playthrough, I think all the chapters I do are all going to be majority ghost, except for chapter 4, which will be opportunist. So right here, I sprinted around the corner, so that'll distract the guard and he'll be peeking around the corner there. I think that just saves a very few, maybe a second or two. If you don't sprint past, he'll start his patrol like 1 or 2 seconds later, and you can just go up on the ropes also during that time. So you don't have to sprint if you don't want to. So coming up is the end of the chapter. Once you go through this hole right here, cutscene plays, and here's my results. Yeah, so I got, as you can see, it's majority ghost with that little section of opportunist for throwing that cup. So now at this point I'm going to the tavern and then going to the beginning of chapter 4, which will be in the next part. So there's no real tricks here. It's just you go straight into the tavern, and then you have to see a cutscene, and then you have to leave again. So you want to avoid accidentally hitting the button like I did too early, because you'll be stuck at peeking that corner like I did.
I'll find him at Greystone Plaza.
And you don't want to be stuck at going up the stairs like I just did right now. I guess it's my fault for being a little bit impatient. So here, the only thing you have to worry about is these two guards here. You could just do what I do, just wait at this box right here and wait until they turn around and go back on their patrol, and then just swoop past them. So this area we're going into is, there's two ways of going through it. The best way is what I'm going through right now, which is through the boxes. But there's also a window to the right before you enter the boxes that you can go through, but that requires going through two windows. So this way is faster in my opinion. So here there's a guard. You can just sprint past him. I do a swoop just to make sure that he doesn't spot me. And here's chapter 4. So that's the end of this video. So I'll see you in part 4.